Welcome back to the channel, and I'm going to introduce the next project. This is actually going to be my one-year build for my local IPMS chapter, IPMS London. This is from Hasegawa, the 1/72nd scale VF1 Valkyrie. And this one also says on the box, it's called the Do You Remember Love Edition from the Macross TV series. So, yep, I picked this up quite a while ago. It's a boxing mold done in 2001. There's been subsequent boxings of the original mold. This one, for those who don't know about Macross or Robotech, as it's sometimes called, these fighters can transform into fully mechs or Gerwalks, I believe. It's kind of halfway in between. This one does not transform. It strictly is in the fighter mode, which is fine. So I remember being a kid watching this series and quite enjoying it. So I think I'm going to enjoy this. Kind of sci-fi builds are always fun because they're what ifs. So you don't have to be a rivet counter, which is always nice. So we're going to kind of go very briefly through the box. We'll start with the instructions. Pretty clear from what I can see because it's Hasegawa. So you basically have a very large fold-out guide, which goes through all the various things. From what I can see, fairly basic details in the cockpit, which is fine for this scale. You have a couple of variations on things like air brakes and stuff like that. The wings are swing and they can move if you desire to do that. I'm not sure if I'm going to or not. I'm also not sure if I'm going to build this in a flight configuration with the pilot and all that, or put it with its landing gear on the ground. I'm not really sure yet. I'll have to see what I can do to put it in a flight configuration. It's nothing really I've done before. But fairly straightforward. 16 parts for the assembly, so fairly straightforward assembly. Pretty good parts count. The decal scheme is pretty straightforward. You basically got one aircraft, but three different pilots from the TV show for the scheme. So a lot of it's, basically one scheme, and then you're either option 1, 2, or 3 for some of the personalization bits. So let's go through the decals. So here are the decals. Again, good quality from Hasegawa. Just maybe a little bit of yellowing. I might have to put them in a window. But basically, you've got the red, green, blue, depending on the pilot you want to do. And obviously, that changes the numbers as well. Looks like 111, 112. 117 or 13 or whatever you want. It looks like there's all sorts of options there. So anyway, some of the things like on the tail, they do provide you decals, but I think I'm going to paint those black and mask them, and then I can put the skull and crossbones on. So, but it is designed for you could practically build this without paint for like a junior modeler, so that's all right. All right, moving on to the parts. From what I've seen so far, very good quality from a mold this age. As I said, it is Hasegawa. So this looks like some of the engine stuff in here. And then moving on, we have I haven't unwrapped the clear parts, but the cockpit and some of the clear parts. The canopy, from what I can tell, looks in really good shape. So I'm going to leave that in the bag for now. And then we have some of the lower and upper fuselage areas. Again, nice molding, subtle details. The panel lines look like they're recessed, but pretty good quality. Can't really complain about that. Again, it's supposed to be a nice simple build. There's the cockpit tub. And that's the bottom side of it, of course, is the wheel well with some detail there. So that's nice. Moving on, we have some of the tail sections. So one of the tail planes, some more of the engine components, basically a duplicate of the first one I showed you. And then we've got the sprue, which has some more engine detail, some of the front landing gear. What else do we have here? More of the engine area from the looks of it in the fuselage. Again, very nice detail on it. Should be fun. It's an interesting, the plastic's typical Hasegawa. I think it'll work well with primer. Here's the wings, just looking at the detail there. Very nice detail with rivets and things like that. That's the gun pod. So yeah, overall, just a very quick and dirty look here. Looks like it's going to be a fairly nice kit to build. I've wanted to build one of these futuristic fighters from the Japanese anime series for quite a while, and there's a few other ones I've got my eye on. So yeah, that's it for this. So we're going to start building on this fairly soon, and we'll keep up with progress on that. So thank you again as always, and be well.